Let me start with something that might sting a little. Attraction isn't about being the nicest guy in the room, or how much you care, or even how much you love her. Attraction is about energy. It's about behavior. It's about presence. And the brutal truth is this: most men are destroying attraction every single day without even realizing it. Now, I get it. You probably think you're doing everything right. You're available. You're thoughtful. You text her back right away. You compliment her. You treat her like a queen. That should work, right? That should make her fall head over heels. But here's the crazy part. It doesn't. In fact, those are the exact behaviors that make her lose respect. That's why she says things like, "I just need space," or, "I don't know, the spark is gone." Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a woman suddenly lose interest even though you were doing everything you thought was right? You gave her attention, affection, your time, and then, boom, she pulled away. Maybe she left you for someone who seemed like he had way less to offer, and you're standing there, confused, asking yourself, what just happened? If that sounds familiar, you've already witnessed female psychology in action. And the truth is, it's not about what you gave her. It's about what you gave up in the process. See, women are not attracted to weakness. They're not attracted to men who bend their entire life around them, who seek constant reassurance, or who lose themselves in the process of chasing. And yet, modern men are being taught every day, by movies, social media, even relationship coaches, that the secret is to become softer, more available, more giving. But tell me honestly, has that worked for you? Here's the reality. Women don't want a man they can control. They want a man they can respect. Respect is the foundation of attraction. And respect doesn't come from how much you sacrifice. It comes from strength. It comes from direction. It comes from the quiet confidence of a man who knows who he is. And in this video, I'm going to break down the 7 habits that silently kill attraction. These are the little things that make her say, "Something feels off." They're the mistakes that turn the spark into indifference. And once you see them clearly, you'll never look at dating the same way again. So let's dive in. And trust me, you don't want to miss the last one because it's the most common and the most destructive. Mistake number 1, seeking her approval. One of the fastest ways to kill attraction is constantly seeking her approval. Now, I want you to think about this. When a man is always asking, "Is this okay? Do you like this? Am I doing the right thing?" What message is he sending? He's saying, "I don't trust myself. I need you to tell me I'm good enough." And let's be real, that's not attractive. Approval seeking looks harmless at first. You go along with her choice of restaurant, even though you hate it. You laugh at jokes that don't land. You agree with opinions you don't believe in. You think you're being easygoing, but what you're really showing is weakness. Now imagine this. You're on a date, and she suggests a place you don't like. Instead of saying what you want, you just nod and go along. Seems polite, right? But in her mind, what she sees is a man without a backbone. Now flip it. Same scenario, but this time you say, "Actually, I'm not a huge fan of that spot, but let's pick something we'll both enjoy." You're being honest, respectful, and you're showing that you have a voice. That's attractive. That's leadership. So ask yourself, are you agreeing because you really agree, or because you're afraid of losing her approval? That little difference changes everything. Mistake number 2, emotional dependence. Let's talk about another silent killer, emotional dependence. This is when your happiness depends on her. You're anxious if she doesn't text back. You spiral when she's upset. You constantly need reassurance that she still likes you. Here's the truth. When you put your emotions in someone else's hands, you lose your power. And women feel that immediately. Neediness is like perfume. You don't see it, but everyone smells it. Let me paint you a picture. You're on a date and she seems a little distracted. Maybe she's had a rough day. Instead of staying calm, you start overthinking. Did I say something wrong? Is she losing interest? Should I do more to cheer her up? You double text. You try harder. And guess what? She pulls away even more. Now picture the opposite. Same situation, but this time you stay relaxed. You don't chase her mood. You enjoy the moment. If she wants to share, she will. That calm, steady energy tells her, I can handle myself no matter what. That's magnetic. Emotional independence doesn't mean shutting down or acting cold. It means you take responsibility for your own state of mind. You can care deeply without being dependent. And that balance, that's what women crave. Mistake number 3, putting her above your mission. This one hurts because a lot of men fall into it. They put their girlfriend, or even the idea of a girlfriend, above their mission in life. Your mission is your purpose, your goals, your drive. It's what makes you who you are. And yet, so many men abandon it the moment they get into a relationship. They cancel plans. They give up hobbies. They sideline their ambitions, all in the name of making her happy. Here's the problem. If you don't value your mission, she won't either. A man without purpose is like a ship without a rudder, easy to drift, easy to sink. Women respect men who are driven. They respect men who have a life outside of them. Now, does this mean you ignore her? No, but it means you don't give up your identity just to fit into hers. Attraction thrives when two whole people come together, not when one person sacrifices everything. So ask yourself, what's my mission? Am I still chasing it, or am I slowly giving it up for her? And here's where it gets even more interesting, because the next mistake is one that almost every nice guy makes without realizing it. It's something so small, but it chips away at respect faster than anything else. And once you see it, you'll understand why so many men get blindsided by rejection. So where did we leave off? Right at one of the sneakiest, most destructive habits men fall into without even realizing it. And the crazy part is, you probably think it's harmless. You might even think it makes you look considerate, but in reality, it erodes attraction like acid. I'm talking about over-explaining yourself. Mistake number 4, over-explaining yourself. Look, I get it. You don't want her to misunderstand you. You want to make sure she knows you care. But when every action comes with a 5-minute explanation, what you're really communicating is insecurity. Think about the last time you were late. Did you say something simple like, "Hey, traffic was bad, thanks for waiting"? Or did you go into a long speech about how your boss made you stay late? The light was red too long, your phone battery was dying, and your dog looked sad before you left the house? That second version? That's not confidence, it's pleading. It's like you're begging her not to be upset with you. And trust me, women notice the difference. Here's why this matters. Over-explaining is basically saying, I don't trust that you'll accept me as I am, so I have to justify myself. And every time you do it, you lower your value in her eyes. Now picture this. A guy doesn't text back for a few hours. When she asks why, he gives a short, calm answer. I was busy at work. Done. Confident. She might even feel more intrigued, more curious about what he was doing. Now compare that to a guy who sends a paragraph-long explanation apologizing, detailing every minute of his day. Which one feels more attractive? Exactly. Women aren't attracted to men who constantly seek forgiveness or approval through explanations. They're attracted to men who own their choices. So here's your new challenge. Next time you catch yourself over-explaining, stop. Keep it simple. Let your actions speak louder than your words. That quiet confidence? It's way more powerful than any speech you could give. Mistake number 5. Trying to fix her emotions. This one's going to hit home for a lot of men, because we've all been there. Your woman is upset, and what do? You jump into problem-solving mode. Here's what you should do. Let me fix it. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Sounds helpful, right? Wrong. What women actually want in those moments isn't a handyman for their emotions. It's a witness. They want to feel heard. They want to feel understood. And when you skip straight to fixing, you send the message that her feelings are an inconvenience you need to solve, instead of an experience you want to share with her. Imagine this. She comes home frustrated about her boss. If you immediately say, "You should quit," or "Here's what you need to do tomorrow," she feels dismissed. But if you look her in the eye and say, "That sounds tough. I get why you'd be upset," everything changes. She feels safe. She feels seen. And that safety deepens attraction in ways solutions never can. So here's a quick test for you. Next time she shares something emotional, resist the urge to fix. Just listen. Nod. Say, "I hear you." That's it. You'll be amazed at how much more connected she feels, and how much more she respects you for holding space instead of trying to control her feelings. Mistake number 6, always being available. Now, this one might feel controversial, but it's the truth. If you are always available, always free to text, always ready to cancel plans, always picking up the phone on the first ring, you're draining the mystery and tension out of the relationship. Think about the people you admire most. Do they seem like they're available 24/7? Or do they have their own lives, their own passions, their own schedules? Exactly. Value comes from scarcity. When you're always available, you're saying, "I don't have anything going on in my life that's more important than waiting for you." And that lowers your perceived value. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should play games or deliberately ignore her. But you need balance. If she feels like you're glued to your phone waiting for her, she'll subconsciously lose respect. If she feels like you're a man on a mission with goals, hobbies, and purpose, you become magnetic. Here's a real-life example. One guy cancels his workout every time she calls. At first, she's flattered. But after a while, she starts to feel like she's his entire world. And that's heavy. It's pressure, not attraction. Another guy says, "I'm at the gym right now, but I'll call you after." Which one sounds more attractive? Exactly. Respect comes from balance. Don't abandon your life for her. Bring her into a life you already love. Mistake number 7, losing your masculine frame. This is the big one. The silent killer that destroys attraction faster than all the others combined. Losing your frame means losing your center. It's when you let her emotions, her tests, or the world around you knock you off balance. Here's the harsh reality. Women will test you. Not because they're evil, not because they want to ruin your life, but because they need to feel your strength. They need to know you can handle pressure. They need to know you can lead when things get tough. If every time she gets upset, you panic. If every time she pulls away, you chase harder. If every time she questions you, you fold, you're telling her, "I can't handle this." And that kills attraction instantly. Now let me give you an example. She says, "Why didn't you text me back sooner?" The man who loses his frame will apologize, over-explain, and try to win her approval back. The man who keeps his frame will say calmly, "I was busy, but I'm here now." No drama, no panic, just calm leadership. That difference is everything. Women don't fall in love with men who crumble. They fall in love with men who stay grounded no matter what storm is happening around them. So ask yourself, do you let her moods control yours? Do you get defensive every time she questions you? Or do you stay steady, calm, and confident? That's the ultimate test of attraction. So let's recap. The 7 behaviors that silently kill attraction are: seeking her approval, being emotionally dependent, putting her above your mission, over-explaining yourself, trying to fix her emotions, always being available, losing your masculine frame. Every single one of these habits comes from the same root problem: insecurity. And every single one can be unlearned if you're willing to face the truth. Now here's the good news. Attraction isn't magic. It's not luck. It's not something you either have or you don't. It's a skill. And like any skill, you can learn it. You can practice it. You can master it. Before you click away, I want to give you a small challenge. Next time you're on a date or texting a woman, catch yourself in one of these habits. Are you about to over-explain? Stop. Are you about to cancel your plans for her? Don't. Are you about to seek her approval? Breathe and say what you actually think. Just try it once and watch how differently she responds when you stop giving away your power. Look, this isn't about being toxic. This isn't about playing games. It's about becoming the kind of man women are biologically wired to respect and desire. A man who is grounded. A man who has a mission. A man who listens but doesn't beg. A man who cares but doesn't crumble. If you've ever felt like the nice guy who always finishes last, this is your wake-up call. Stop killing attraction with weak habits. Start standing in your strength. And watch how your relationships change when you finally respect yourself first. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these mistakes hit home the hardest? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're serious about becoming the man women chase, not the man they leave, make sure you hit subscribe. Because next time, I'll be revealing the subtle signs she's only playing with you and never planning to commit. That one, you don't want to miss.